Today, let us understand about one of the most important objects in Kubernetes, that is deployment. In previous flow, we understood that our application runs inside the pod. But here's the problem. A pod alone is not enough for real applications. Why? Because a pod can fail. A pod needs to be restarted. A pod needs to be updated. New versions needs to be released. And most important, user should not feel any downtime during update. And that is where Kubernetes deployment comes in. Imagine we have only one pod running an application. Everything looks fine, the app is live, but now suddenly the pod crashes. If this pod was created manually, Kubernetes doesn't know how many pods do you want to restart. So the app can go down. This is why in real process, in the real Kubernetes deployment, we never start the pods manually. We need something that can watch the pods and restart it automatically. That object is called Replica Set. Replica Set simply means I want this many copies of my app running. For example, if we want 3 replicas, then Replica Set makes sure that if one pod dies, then it will restart it again and keep the 3 pods alive in Kubernetes. But still, we do not create the Replica Set manually or directly. Why? Because what if we need the update in that pod? What if we want to generate the new version? This is where Kubernetes becomes powerful. Kubernetes works with the desired state. For example, if you want 3 pods, and the Kubernetes checks for the current state. If there are 2 pods, then it makes sure to generate another pod and 3 pods are live. If you have 3 pods in the current state, actual state, then it doesn't do anything. So Kubernetes is always trying to match the desired state. This is the core idea behind the deployment. Now we come to deployment. Deployment is a higher level object to manage a replica set. You can think of like this. Deployment manages the replica set and replica set manages the pods, and pods run the containers and containers run the app. So when we create the deployment create the replica set, then the replica set create the pod. So that's basically what is deployment. Now let us say we want to upgrade the version from version 1 to version 2. If we don't have Kubernetes, what we do simply is kill the version 1 or stop the version 1 app and then upload the version 2. But that can create a downtime. Our customers face the downtime. So here, deployment gives you a rolling updates. What does that mean? That means Kubernetes doesn't replace all the pod at the same time. It does that one by one. So that means at the same time, there might be version 1 available and also the version 2. And if something happens to the version 2, then it automatically rolls back to the version 1, step by step. That means during the update also, our versions are available, our old versions are also available. This is one of the biggest reasons deployment is used. It gives users a zero downtime. And also by chance, if the version 2 has a bug, then version 1 is available there. So we can simply roll back to the version 1 manually also. Deployment is usually written in YAML file, of course. It includes app name, number of replicas, container images, container pod, and the label used to connect everything. You do not need to remember everything at once. You just need to understand the purpose, understand the concept. That's all for this video. I hope you understood the concept of deployment and I hope you will implement it. And yeah, that's all. We will see us in the next video. Thank you for watching.